All right, so you'll see this, this terminology a lot in your homework, where you're comparing and contrasting soils. But it talks about soil, this is soil profile, meaning if you dig down in the dirt, what layers are you going to come to? And it depends on where you are and what soil you have as to how deep these different layers are. And sometimes they don't even have some of these layers, but this is just a general overview. So the O horizon. Okay, so this is, maybe some of you had to clear off the O layer before you grabbed your dirt, or you still had some O layer on your dirt. That's the leaf litter, like the broken down leaves, the sticks. We had a bug last hour that crawled out of the bag, and it's just breaking the organic layer that's slowly breaking down and then leaching or going into the soil.
So in places like a rainforest, would the organic matter be really high, like the organic matter layer be really a lot?
The rainforest is a really interesting soil. It's actually a fairly poor soil. It doesn't grow much. Most of the, or it doesn't have a lot of nutrients in it, I should say, not that it doesn't grow much. What it is the canopy and all the plant layer above it has all the nutrients. It falls, when anything falls to the forest floor, it's immediately sucked back up by plants and is in the plants. So it's actually fairly poor soil, believe it or not.
Because it's been all of the nutrients has been pulled slowly.
Yep. Okay, so topsoil. This is the stuff that you garden in. It's loose and crumbly, depending on where you are. Of course, this area, this time of year, it could be hard as cement because of no rain, lack of moisture. But it is, yeah, it's loose and crumbly, and it's starting, the organic matter has gone into the soil, and so it's enriching it. Okay, so as I said, this is the layer that we grow things in. It has the organic matter coming down from the top. It has really weathered rock and minerals from the bedrock that have slowly eroded and weathered and are now available for this. It's very small. Like, look at, compared to like the B or the C layer, it's tiny. And yet that's where pretty much all of our all living things come from. You know, be it our food or whatever, it comes from that top layer of soil.
Wow.
And so it's super, super important that we protect it, especially since it takes hundreds of years to make new topsoil. Okay, so has anybody ever like dug a hole for maybe a tree or for some construction project and seen that you get past the top layer and then it changes? It is a noticeable difference. It gets lighter, it gets rockier, it gets harder to dig.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. All right. Yeah. So that's because you've gotten down to the B horizon. So there is really a distinct change when you go from the topsoil down to that like craggier, rougher soil that isn't as productive. It has the parent material, the original bedrock is being eroded, and so it's a mixture between getting up to A, but it still has a lot of rocks in it. And it can be a challenge to dig through that layer. No?
We were doing an addition at my house, and we were learning, or we could kind of see those layers, and that layer, it was really weird. There's another layer in between this layer also that's all clay.
You're welcome.
Makes it so much easier.
So if it's that down low underground, how does it get partially weathered at all?
It's just time, movement of the earth,
Or
water. Yeah. All right. So here,
Like, how many, like, how deep is the sea sort of like, is it like,
you will find out in your homework tonight.
You will find out.
And it'll be specific to your house and 2 other locations. Okay, so C is mostly rock. When you get that far, there's very little what we would consider soil in it. And it's mostly just the parent material. And again, you know it if you hit it. When you're digging, it becomes much, much harder.
I found that sort of rocky stuff. There's a spot, or there's a creek, and there's none of the A and B layer. Is that?
Depends on your soil and your location. All right. No Minecraft comment. And then underneath that is bedrock, which is just solid stone. All right.
Except you can mine it. In real life, you can.
Okay, so next up, we're going to look at our glasses of lovely dirt, and I'll walk you through how to do that.